Hey, what's going on, everybody? So this is going to be part 2 of my walkthrough for Shining the Holy Ark. This video ended up being a lot shorter than I expected because the dungeon is pretty much straightforward. It's one floor. It's a little windy and you can get lost, but I'm going to put the map on the screen whenever I come to an item so you can just look at that as a reference. So let's get going and jump into the Forest of Confusion. So right away we're going to enter, and over here is going to be our first item on this tree, which is going to be an herb. Very nice. We're accumulating a lot of those. Second off, we're going to come down here to this treasure chest, which is going to have our second item, which is the bronze shell. Something you could have bought in town, but better off to find here and save your gold. Then we're going to come over here to this location and get a wooden staff, which isn't that great. And then we're going to come around the back end of that and find another pixie over here. I think this is our fourth, which is a fairy. And then we're going to come around to this path over here for another item. Looking in the bushes, we find another herb. We must have 30 of those at this point. Then we're going to come out of that little cubby hole and go straight down to this bush over here and find an energy bread. I'm going to put that on the map real quick and show where that is. There we go. Now we're going to sidestep that, come around to this path over here, and open this treasure chest for an angel feather or an angel wing, depending on what game you're playing. Then we're going to come over to the pond, which is just another straightforward path, and find the puppy we were looking for to give to that kid in town, so we can get yet another pixie from him. Very cool. And then we're going to take this little side path off the side of the pond, open up this treasure chest, and find ourselves a lucky cookie. And then we're going to come over here by the pond and find another pixie. Yeah, I guess I could put a little more in this video, but the paths to find these items were pretty straightforward, so I figured just having the map up on screen is helpful. Entering the graveyard, we're going to check these first tombstones on the left for a middle shield, another item we could have bought for Arthur in town, but save our gold. Then we're going to come over to this tombstone over here, getting another angel wing. And then over to this grave to fight our first real boss, the Wraith. He shouldn't pose too much trouble if you've fought a few enemies along the way. And he goes down pretty easily, just one hit. A little more storyline stuff, and then we're going to take on our next dungeon, which ends up being the Mountain Cave. But before that, we're going to go back to town and give the dog to the boy, who will then trade us a pixie in return. So we've gotten, I think that's our second pixie. Yeah, they call them pixies, but they're all called pixies. So, you know, another pixie over here. And that's it for the Forest of Confusion. It's a pretty short dungeon. A little windy, but not too bad, which is why I didn't put too much of the movement of the dungeon in there. So, yeah. Come back for another part and we'll take on the Mountain Cave. See you later.